You came upon some money recently, or you just been had it like that, and you want to dive into the more expensive and luxurious fragrances. But the question is, what is the best niche fragrances you can get? That's why I got for you the top 10 Parfum de Marly fragrances that'll have you smell like that guy for life. First up is Parfum de Marly's Altair. The first time I seen this fragrance is when I went to the North Park Mall with Triple B, aka my dad. I was talking to one of the people who were working at Macy's or one of those high-end retailers that sells this type of stuff. And as I'm talking to him, I'm noticing this big, huge rack of Parfum de Marly fragrances, you know, from the women's fragrances to the men's. And we're talking and I tell him, yo, I'm disgustingly in love with gourmand fragrances. Fuck the other ones. I only love gourmand ones. Now, obviously I didn't cuss at him, but he was like, you know, we got this new Altair here if you want to come get a little sample. And I was like, oh, word? All right, let me go get a little sample. Boy, when I tell you that aroma hit my nose and I automatically fell in love with it, I'm not trolling or playing with you. I loved it immediately. Now let me describe the notes to you on why I love this fragrance. So it's not only gourmand, it starts out with notes like saffron and cinnamon, giving this rich, luxurious spiciness that comes off smoothly appealing. Orange blossom then introduces a floral sweet creaminess, which gives you a taste of the sweetness this fragrance has to offer. And bergamot gives this bright freshness that somewhat in a way comes off airy. In the core is where they tease the sweetness a little bit more with bourbon vanilla, amplifying the warmth of this fragrance while adding this boozy, smooth gourmand feel that I fell in love with off the back. That's what that one dude from Adam 22 interview said, right? Boom, bop, bam, straight off the back. Lastly, in the core is elemi, adding a subtle spiciness and a hint of woodiness that makes this more snug and leads into the base. In the base, there's guaiac wood, intensifying the creaminess of this scent while adding a smooth, woody depth. Ambrox adds a slight clean but bright feel to this, and praline gives this the real sweetness that comes off nutty and creamy while providing this with some more warmth. Now that I expressed how much I love this fragrance, if I was supposed to put it in a gourmand list, it'd definitely be top 3 for sure. Now, although as much as I love this fragrance, I looked at this price and I was like, damn, I understand why others probably wouldn't like it, but if you have that type of money, I'd definitely spend it on this. Next is a real fresh fragrance. It's Parfum de Marly Sedley. Now that we get the gist that this is a Parfum de Marly video, don't worry, I won't be saying Parfum de Marly the whole video. The way I discovered this fragrance was I was looking throughout the vault of fragrances and I was like, damn bro, I don't want to wear something I typically wear. And I almost chose Prada Luna Rosa Sport EDT, but something about this bottle called to me. And I was like, you know what, there's no harm in trying. Boy, when I tell you what this reminded me of, you're not gonna believe me. This shit reminded me of ginger ale. Fun fact about ginger ale, you know that it can cure your car sickness? My fault, I get a little bit sidetracked, but let me get into the notes. Top pops out with bergamot and spearmint, giving this a tart freshness and a clean touch that comes off bright and vibrant. In the heart of this fragrance, there's geranium, giving this leafy freshness, which is probably why this reminds me of ginger ale. In lavender, adding an elegant floral freshness that amplifies that bright and clean feel. The base consists of sandalwood and cedarwood, giving off this woody masculine sophistication, along with incense giving a smoky, spicy touch. Now this fragrance can either go two ways. For one, I feel like this can be considered a real manly fragrance, or on the other hand, can be too much for somebody. But if you get a chance to test this out and it's not too powerful for you, my guy, I just put you on. This is your fresh scent for eternity. Coming up next is PDM's Darlie. I don't know if you guys ever seen that meme, but if not, it'll be somewhere around the screen. It's that SpongeBob floating meme. You know, the one where he's lifting up like these, bro, like he about to go to heaven. That is the best way I could describe this fragrance. I had to show y'all through a picture. Words can't even describe how good this bitch is. Now you might be asking, what the fuck does that even mean? This fragrance is so light and elegant. Trust me when I say it, this is what heaven would smell like. And hell sent to y'all is Parfum de Marly's cologne. I don't understand why y'all hate it so much, but y'all fucking do. In the beginning of this fragrance, the initial notes are mint and lemon, introducing the person wearing it to this airy, manly freshness. In the heart, they didn't want it so fresh to where it's minty, ice cold, so they brought in cinnamon to balance it out, along with some lavender, giving this not only a floral freshness, but a spicy balance. The end notes are patchouli, giving this a soapy, light, clean feel, and amber, amping up the spice of that cinnamon. I'd suggest to wear this casually, or since the prices are so high, save it for a very special occasion. Unfortunately, with how light this fragrance is, you're gonna need to spray 4 to 6 sprays. Now, not to get it mistaken, it's not like 1 million gold light. It's like a light but still high performing fragrance. You get what I'm saying? Like, it works, but it isn't so intense to where it's burning your nostril hairs. Next is a fragrance that reminds me of another fragrance, and that's PDM's Galloway. At first, this reminded me of Creed Silver Mountain Water, but this is better than that bitch. I'm not discrediting Creed Silver Mountain Water, but in my humble opinion, this is just better. At the top, the notes start out with citrus and pepper, giving this tart freshness along with this smooth, warm coziness. For the middle notes, we got iris and orange blossom, giving off this dumb, smooth, exquisite aroma that is not only soothing, but also in a way calming. The base notes consist of musk, giving this a warm and sophisticated, clean aroma, with amber intensifying the warmth, and sandalwood amplifying that clean and warm, musky aroma, while giving this an earthy edge. Based off the notes, you can tell that this is light, elegant, and airy, but knowing that knowledge now, where is it safe to wear it? But I feel like this could be worn at your job or worn casually. And if you're about to get fired from your job, might as well go out with a bang. Man, go get that fine-ass coworker you've been looking to talk to. Trust me, if you have this on, she'll love your scent. Next fragrance is just like its bottle, unless it's fake gold, a straight golden scent. PDM's Dolphin. This might come off as glazed, but this is one of the best balanced floral fragrances I've smelled in my entire life that still comes off masculine. One thing that I've never understood is how a fragrance can come off too floral to where it's girly. I mean, why does it matter? You smell good and you fresh, who cares? Now don't you get it twisted, because I don't wear perfume. But obviously as guys, there's fragrances that we stay away from, like Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Blush, or the Nicki Minaj fragrances, because they are literally marketed towards girls. I don't know about y'all, but I'm choosing this, which is unisex, over that high heel. At the top is thyme and saffron, kicking this off with a little bit of spice, and cypress giving this a green, earthy, crisp edge. In the core is where it really gets floral, with notes like roses, iris, and jasmine, giving this a velvety, smooth elegance. On the dry down, there's amber, vetiver, and white cedarwood, alongside the musk, which is enhancing the earlier earthy edge. Weirdly enough, all the notes come together to make this suede-like aroma that is velvety smooth. You know how there's fragrances out there that just don't do it for some people? This one's a pleaser. It's perfect for snuggle season, and gang, I'm telling you, whoever's cuddling up with you is never letting go of you. Sixth spot goes to a very smooth, spicy fragrance. It's none other than PDM's Harad. I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 with you. With how snug and cozy this is, this fragrance can be perfect for this winter. Oh, so you don't believe me? Okay, I'll describe it to you how cozy and snug it is. At the top, it introduces you to how cozy it is with cinnamon and pepper, which give off a luxurious, smooth spiciness. You actually should have believed me, because they dive even deeper into the spices in the heart, with notes like tobacco leaf and incense, giving this a spicy and sweet, smoky aroma that is enhanced by the floral depth of the osmanthus. The end notes consist of vanilla pods, which amplifies the sweetness of the scent. The woody accord intensifies the warmth, and patchouli giving off a sweet and musky aroma that comes off comforting and alluring. I want you to see how creative my mom got when she smelled this fragrance. I have it pulled up here in our messages. She told me that this smells like an old dusty man sitting in his study in a velvet robe quoting Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Oh, and she forgot, he's drinking whiskey as well. There was one thing that my mother said that was correct, and it was the fact that this smells like a robe. It does have a suede-like aroma. And I'm letting you know your girl, or I don't know if you got side pieces, will be hypnotized and mesmerized. Up next is one that I was dumbfounded about that I liked because I hate green fragrances. It's PDM's Greenlee. Now at first, the intensity of this fragrance reminded me of Irish Tweed, which by the way, I'm sorry, I fucking hate. And as I let it dry down, I was like, damn bro, this actually isn't like Irish Tweed at all, and I actually like it. The reason why I hate Irish Tweed and other earthy fragrances is because for one, they're like the opposite of gourmand fragrances. And for two, I've always smelled a fragrance that's super duper intense. Like I've never smelled an earthy fragrance that isn't the maximum amount of intensity. And for me, Irish Tweed is too intense for my liking. This opens up with Sicilian bergamot, green apple, and mandarin, giving this zesty, citrusy, fruity freshness, while cashmere wood gives us a soft woodiness. In the middle layer is cedar wood, which is more heavier, adding on to that woodiness, with violet and pomerose giving this an earthy floral touch. At the bottom is oak moss, giving it that deep earthiness, musk giving it that clean edge, and amberwood accord amplifying that woodiness. In my opinion, the freshness of this is unlike your typical designer fragrance. Not saying all designer fragrances, but I feel like a lot of them use lavender too much. There is some exceptions where they don't use lavender at all and they have something like this. But I don't know, man. With Parfum de Marly, they was coming with that pressure with this. And how many sprays would I do with it? I'd probably say 4. That's probably max. Coming up is a fragrance that smells like a boozy aroma with no alcohol in it. It's PDM's Ogen. At first, the intensity of this fragrance is gonna kick you in the nose. When it does dry down, you get to relish in how real comfortable this fragrance is. The introductory notes start off with honey, which give off a rich syrupy-like sweetness, cinnamon creating a smooth, warm spiciness, and osmanthus enhancing the honey with its floral depth. In the heart, there's amber and benzoin, giving additional warmth and a vanilla-like sweetness, with another floral enhancement from the labdanum. Speaking of vanilla, in the anchoring notes, there's vanilla and tonka bean, giving this creamy, warm sweetness, with divine and patchouli boosting that sweet intensity. You know how fragrances sometimes can be clunky, where you might smell one thing and then another? Well, this fragrance is not like that at all. It's smooth. Whatever you smell one day is what you're gonna smell the next. And it's also a really good winter fragrance. Up next might not be for you because of how floral it is, but of course if you don't care, it's Parfum de Marly's Pegasus. Someone said this is a very floral, girly fragrance, but I would just say it just depends on how you look at it. See, personally, the way I look at it is that it's a very light, gourmand, creamy aroma with flowers just enhancing it. In the beginning, you'll notice notes like cypress making this fresh and crisp, bergamot giving it this bright, vibrant freshness, and heliotrope, which introduces you to the sweetness this fragrance offers. In the heart, there's jasmine, lavender, and bitter almond, making this floral depth and nutty edge that enhances and leads to the base notes, which are vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. And those notes are the main reason why I feel like this is more gourmand with flowers just enhancing it. And to be quite frank with you, without those floral notes, you wouldn't be able to smell the true sweetness of those gourmand notes. Now, if I was personally you and I had this, let's say I'm driving with somebody I'm trying to impress in the passenger seat. I'm immediately turning the AC unit up to max. I don't care if you're driving on the interstate or the highway, take your hands off the wheels and start blowing your aroma at them. You'll be good, trust me, your car probably got autopilot or some shit. Now for legal reasons, I'm just trolling. Please do not listen to me, I'm an idiot, do not do that. This next fragrance I really had an issue with at first. That fragrance was PDM's Late and Exclusive. At first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought this smelled like charcoal. But I swear to God, depending on the room that I'm in, it really changes the scent. Am I bugging or have y'all ever noticed that? But as I was letting this dry down, I was like, oh damn, this shit actually fire. The top notes are bergamot, which give a tart, citrusy freshness. Pink pepper and cardamom along with the heliotrope give this a sweet and spicy feel. In the middle, there's geranium, which gives this fresh but spicy aroma. Jasmine, lavender, and bitter almond are weirdly in this just like the last fragrance. The end notes are exactly like the last fragrance with notes like vanilla, amber, and sandalwood, but there's natural oud and guaiac wood that dive deeper into that woody depth and make this darker. Because with how dark this fragrance is, it feels like it's only appropriate to wear it at nighttime. In downtown, wearing this type of fragrance, they're gonna be like, yo, what the hell you got on, bro? Don't tell them, because we gatekeep over here. Now I know what you're thinking. You might be like, damn bro, the price range of all these fragrances are $330 to $465. They don't put it for those high prices for any reason now. I mean, you gotta think, you're paying for a fragrance that not many people can say that they smelled like. With that money you gotta go watch my top 5 best Lattafa fragrances money can buy video.